Hi, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. I would love to introduce to you a very special guest today. His name is Dante Starshine. Welcome, Dante, to the
Thank you so
show.
much.
Oh, you're welcome. So I want to thank Amanda Carroll for introducing us. And she is one of your favorite fans. And I want to say that I'm looking forward to our collaboration. We are uh, streaming both on this channel and we're also streaming on Dante's channel. And the information for Dante's channel is down in the information notes on my channel chat for the day. So if you're interested in going over there, you have a way to get there and also to like and subscribe to his channel. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of his experiences and some of his background. And then he's going to be here to answer questions for you. So look, we have some of your folks here today too. So let's say
Oh,
hi to
cool.
Amanda. And I want to
Hello.
say hi to Wiki. And Wiki's another one that I met that day when I met her. And Lucas Gabrielle is here from your channel. Hi, Dante. There you
Welcome.
go. Yeah. So welcome, Lucas. Thank you for being here today. So Dante is up here in the Pacific Northwest right now he was in Seattle for a while and he's in Portland right now. But he lives near Oaxaca, Mexico, a beautiful area. And he also, according to Amanda Carroll, has spent a lot of time traveling the world and has a whole wealth of knowledge from the Pleiadians he wants to share with us. So I'm looking forward to it, Dante. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. I just want to say hi to, let's see, Juanita came in, Pierrette came in, and Janet came in, Wiki, Spirit Watcher Suzanne. Thank you so much. Oh, you're on the treadmill. There you go, girl. All right. We got Carolyn Booker and we got Samantha. So thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here, everybody. So I'd just like to start out a little bit, Dante, with, how did you realize that you were interested in spirituality or metaphysical stuff? When did it start?
Well, I was introduced to yoga when I was 18 years old, and that was one of the first things, besides reading different books and texts on Buddhism and Hinduism
Ooh.
and things in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yoga came to me after some really intense challenges in my family at a time when
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of coming of age, quote unquote, in our world. And I realized that the path that was carved out for me was not the one I went to walk, and that so many of the people that supposedly had the answers didn't have the answers I was looking for and couldn't help
Right.
me deal with essentially a lot of crises.
Mm-hmm.
And that led me to become really dedicated to yoga and meditation and shamanism, plant medicine. It all kind of came in at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I left the college. I started teaching yoga, and the first studio I got a job at was a Reiki place as well. And they offered to have me in an exchange to do the Reiki classes. And this was just a sudden, huge shift of understanding
Yeah.
that everything is consciousness and everything has energy, and I can work with that energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I went fully into this and then started to find different books in the healing centers I was at about 2012, the Pleiadian agenda, and all sorts of different things that were just blowing my mind at the time.
Sure.
Didn't know what to make of it. This was
I
like
understand.
11 or 12 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And so I was 2012 at that time,
Oh.
and there was this gathering, rainbow gathering in Palenque in Mexico,
Uh-huh.
and it was near the center where they found a lot of the first encryptions of the Mayan calendar that came to
Oh,
be
wow.
influential in what people interpreted about the Mayan calendar. So
Mm-hmm.
I booked a one-way ticket and left all of my things, sold most of my things, and I had a really incredible experiences. I thought I was going to go to
Mm-hmm.
South America. I was really drawn to work with the medicine there, but I got into a van with some friends, and the van broke down in Guatemala, where
Oh
I
no.
then spent most of the next 8 years. I'm coming and going, but I met an incredible community and teachers who opened my mind to the next level and introduced me to psychic work. I had a psychic teacher, and he read my aura and told me all of these things that blew my mind. And then I
Well,
started learning from him and learning from other people. And none of them taught me directly about channeling, but they taught me how to speak with guides or see the guides. And then once I got to know, oh, okay, like the guides are always there and I can see them, I can talk to them, I can feel their presence. What if I spoke their message? I was very fascinated by this because I came to listen to many different channelers at that point, and uh, I asked in a ritual with myself one day, okay, whatever my gifts are, may they open. And I heard this voice inside my head that was like, speak us aloud, speak what we're telling you aloud.
okay.
And then it wasn't the Pleiadians at first, it was an archangel. And it kind of grew from there. As I shared this, the connection grew stronger and I came to trust it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow. That is wonderful. So would you say that the yoga and probably opened up the Kundalini, and then all these other things came from that opening? You were just so open to everything else? Do you think that you had a Kundalini opening during that time period?
Definitely. There
Yeah.
was also plant medicines involved in that as
Sure.
well. And the
Sure.
yoga was really teaching me how to focus, I
To
think. You
focus.
know, focus with
Yeah.
the meditation and the breath.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
that focus is also required to kind of maintain the channeling state, because otherwise you can be blown open with information. But
Oh, sure.
how
Yeah.
do you let that energy that's
Yeah.
flowing through
Right.
you stabilize? And that
Correct.
was what really helped me so much from
That's
yoga. And I still
fabulous.
try to meditate every day.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
say try because uh, life can be,
Yeah,
especially with
life gets in
traveling,
the
it can
way.
be a lot to fit in. I do meditate every day, but I want to fit in like a whole 3 hour practice every day, because that's when I feel I'm glowing and nothing can stop me and my vibration is impeccable. But
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
always get that much.
I get that. I get that. That's really awesome. One of our shaman ladies, Annie Bear, says he must have came here to do exactly what he's doing. That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
you know, being I guess probably a star, definitely a star seed, and also working in, you know, in your age group, that you know, so did you think you lived on the Pleiades? Did they tell you you lived on in the Pleiades? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had some
Yeah.
incarnations there and other
Okay.
galactic realms too.
Okay.
But a lot on the earth as well. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember a lot of earthly incarnations as much as those other
Okay.
incarnations.
Yeah, because I'm feeling the wandering ascetic vibe like the Buddha. And I'm a
Yeah,
Buddhist, and I absolutely
yeah,
adore that you went into that sort of realm when you were doing your searching. But you know, and you're doing exactly, I mean, he just gave away everything, and actually he
yeah,
relied on everybody for food and
yeah.
everything. And so it's fabulous that you have, you know, you have that sort of ingrained in you. But
Yeah.
okay, I'm getting questions, so I'm going to start looking at them here. So yes, I just want to sort of what is it that you would like to do that you're not doing right now, or is there something that you would like to do in this realm that you're working towards or on, or are you just an open book anyway?
Hmm. I want to deepen into the study of astrology. I'm also an astrologer. I've taken a
Okay.
year-long course, and then there was another course that I began that there was juggling too many things in life that I had to put
Mhm.
it on the side a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure. I've tried so many things.
That's that's okay.
I've
That's
learned
cool.
so many things, and for me at this point, it's about
Yeah.
you know, putting it out there more. I wrote one book. I wrote
Oh,
several books actually. Some are channeled books and some are
uh-huh,
more personal books, and I want to finish them. And I
uh-huh.
feel like once that's done, it's like then it's like, oh, okay, beginning a new cycle of learning. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm curious about. Sometimes I'm thinking about maybe doing like a training in some sort of psychotherapy so that I can kind of bridge the worlds to people who aren't as familiar with these things yet. And that's more, more of, I don't know. But in terms, I've tried all of the shamanism, breath work, and I love it. And I love to deepen into it. Meditation retreat. I actually haven't done that. I've done many hours of meditation on my own, but I feel myself about to do longer meditation retreats soon.
Excellent. Yeah, that's excellent. Well, I mean, you're still so young. There's so much more for you, but I love that you're open and you're also able to go to some of these foreign countries and meet teachers there and have experiences there that, just seem to broaden everything that you do. So that's fabulous. That's really great. Annie was funny. She said, when I said, what would you like to do? She said, maybe sleep. Because you have a hard time shutting down your mind at all. If you're meditating, you probably don't. I would imagine you don't have a hard time.
Actually, I've gotten to a point when for sleeping, it can happen pretty naturally. But if I do, I have to put the device down. I have to put the phone down. Sometimes I'm wanting to keep working or keep researching or keep doing sillier things. And I don't put once it's down, then I can sleep.
You're okay.
But I have a lot of different relaxing tinctures too.
That's good. That's
amateur herbalist.
Oh, there you go. I mean, we all have these awful distractions that take us away from our true spirituality. But it sounds like you're fairly well in balance from all the things that I've heard. And that's fabulous, especially for someone who actually, as Annie said, it makes sense that you have definitely come to the planet to do this type of work. And that's really awesome. Miss Moonlight says she studied transpersonal psychology. There's a book in integral psychology that's really good. There's a couple of schools that do this transpersonal stuff, and it's fabulous. So that's great.
Recently read a lot about internal family systems, and it connects with a lot of the work that I was doing with the shaman in terms of an understanding our inner archetypes, that when there's trauma or different experiences we have, the psyche splits into different pieces, and then they become these sub-personalities within us. And that has been really like taking my understanding of myself and the human nature to a whole nother level. So I can really recommend that and see that that's, part of the trajectory as well.
That's wonderful, Dante.
Yeah.
So Juanita wonders, do you astral travel? She says she finds herself visiting people in their dreams while I'm dreaming. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
And I got to a point where when I was having so many different multidimensional experiences that I asked to kind of dial it back. And there was a phase of my journey where I was too much constantly between the threshold. I was here and I was there at the same time. So I decided to not do that because it just made me not as grounded in the physical reality. So for me, when I'm channeling, it is like being in an astral state. And then if I need to do my own specific healing work, I might do a practice like shamanic journeying, which sends you into that astral realm, or even a guided meditation or guided visualization. I can tap into these sorts of states pretty easily. I don't access a full astral projection. I have through some pretty rigorous yoga practices and through plant medicines.
Wow.
I don't do that as much anymore, but it might come again. Grounding and integrating is more of my focus at this time.
I hear you. And it's one of the things that some of us have a really hard time doing is grounding and getting that voice to quiet down. I know that we all have the ability to do this kind of work, but for you, with your intense teaching, learning, listening, working in Reiki and working in other things, you've pretty much dedicated your life to just this. And I think that, that's wonderful for you. I think it's wonderful for all of us. So yes, thank you. All right. So let's see. Annie Bear said, we already said that. All right. Dante, do you know the Council of Ancients?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Doesn't ring a bell? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. And the other question I have, Juanita says, whatever gifts I have, please allow them to open. I want to use my gifts too. So maybe you could read for her. Her name is Juanita.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tapping into our gifts is coming through that. Maybe these sorts of questions are better once I start channeling, but I will say.
Okay, you want to do that then? You want to do that?
Yeah, we can start channeling whenever, unless people want to ask me more personal questions about me. We can do that, or we can just hop right into the channeling. But what I will say about opening the gifts is that it comes from passion and excitement for the kinds of experiences and kinds of gifts that you want to seek. So, and in terms of psychic gifts, it definitely requires meditation, but it also requires putting them to practice with others. So when I teach my channeling and intuitive healing course, the majority of the learning happens when people pair up one-to-one with each other outside of our Zoom calls, in their own Zoom calls, right? But and do do the practice. So we need that feedback. And for me, some people think, oh, well, can you just ask the Pleiadians about all of your own things? And I can, but when I'm channeling for other people, there's it's like a grounding rod that more of that energy comes through because there's more of an outlet. There's more of a place for it to go.
Okay.
So there's such a big difference that comes when we are practicing any of this work alone versus when we're connecting with other people and letting that energy be shared, and then learning from what the other people are saying about their experience of us maybe channeling Reiki or reading their energy. But yeah, you definitely have to stay focused, and that's such a big challenge when we are in this world now where we have this screen that we can always open up and tap into so many different things and see so many other people doing different things. And it's, can you put the phone down? Maybe not do it for put the phone down every hour for 15 minutes if you use the phone a lot. Because that bigger growth happens when you stay super focused.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I used to say, taking a walk without a phone with you, and a walking meditation's different for everybody. And but I think it is definitely something that needs to be practiced, just as the gifts do. And people are kind of reticent about getting started for doing that. And yet, if they don't do it, if they don't practice it, it's not going to come to them as easy. It just isn't going to work. You need to do that. You absolutely do. Amanda is over here saying you teach channeling courses, and she had a fabulous reading from one of his students, and that he has a website. So if you go to his channel, you'll be able to see the website as well. She's definitely on your marketing team. We love Amanda Carroll. And she says you're wonderful, Amanda.
Love you, Amanda.
Yeah. So why don't we, if you have some questions you would like Dante's channeling from the Pleiadians, and he's got to get himself into that modality. If you would like to ask questions of him for your personal self, you can put them in the chat, and I will try to take as many as we possibly can. Jennifer White is asking, please ask the Pleiadians about the mushroom cloud event that remote viewers are seeing. When and where?
Okay. Hello, and we say a fantastic day to you at this moment of your time. We are the Pleiadian Council, and we thank you for allowing us to interact with you in this way. As when we meet, there's a bridge that opens between our respective realities that allows for energy to reflect and expand, and for both you and ourselves to grow in a deeper connection with Source. And for this, we thank you very much. And we hope that you as well experience that deepening connection. We come not alone, though as our energy steps in, many other guides come to witness you. They come to attune to you. The bridge between these realities is not difficult to open. In every moment, there are many guides that are available to you, should you choose to listen, should you choose to tune in. We, first of all, want to share with you the greatest understanding that we believe you can have, and that is of the formula for ascension, essentially. It is to act upon your own highest passion to the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome. In other words, it is meaning follow your heart and do whatever your heart guides you to do. Do it as best you can, yes. And have no attachment to the outcomes. This is so simple, and some of you fail to understand how profound it is. It means that your own heart is the center of your intuitive awareness, and your own heart has the deepest connection to your higher self, which is your connection to Source. Source speaks through your higher self as the energy in your own heart. Whatever your heart is guided towards is your own higher self's intuitive nudge, encouraging you to go in that direction. Yet, too often in your world, you allow the stories that you have heard and repeat in your mind to dissuade you and cause you to be either fearful or skeptical of the path of your heart and hold yourself back. If you instead choose to let yourself step forward into the energy of your own heart, we assure you that magical and profound things can happen. To do it to the best of your ability simply means that you have an attitude of persistence. And when you experience challenges, you use them as a way to become wiser. You might think stronger, but it doesn't essentially require strength as much as it requires wisdom. Everything happens for a reason. You've heard that before. Though one reason for many things is learning. All of the so-called mistakes that you make are there to teach you lessons. Sometimes these lessons are not just for you. They are for everyone to come after you. And those who will follow you, when you integrate the mistakes that you have made as valuable lessons and you are able to share them with others, your whole world gets the opportunity of skipping making that same mistake. And this is why there are many vast cosmic experiences and interchanges of energy that are taking place between your world and other worlds. So the last part of this formula is to have no insistence on an outcome. And this means to allow yourself to be open to learn, yes, and to be not attaching to whatever comes. Recognize that your heart is guiding you to expand so that you come to remember yourself as the unconditional love of Source. You may think that your path is guiding you to one specific goal, and as soon as you get attached to something material or something temporary in this process, and you say, this is me, this is what I need, rather than recognizing you are source and you already have what you essentially need. What you essentially need is not out of your reach. You can let go of this grasping and allow yourself to experience true freedom. Freedom is, in the sense, recognizing that you are boundless, you are infinite, and you are love. And the love of Source is an experience that you can tap into at any moment you wish, once you learn how to, in this way, surrender. To let yourself be free is to surrender. You gain so much more when you surrender than you let go of, but you first have to let go. Your world is expanding profoundly, and there are so many timelines available to you. You are in a timeline now of a thinning of the veils. They become so thin that they become entirely transparent. This is allowing for disclosure to take place, the revealing of the truth in many areas. One of these areas is the knowledge of extraterrestrial life and phenomena, though there are many other areas that will be disclosed to you. Some of these are about the nature of the human mind and the nature of consciousness itself. And you will experience that this knowledge accelerates every year, that the information that you as humans have access to and becomes common for you to know about and to experience will accelerate every year. And you must understand that while you are on the leading edge, by being tuned into this sort of information, this sort of energy, there is much more to learn all the time. And it is by allowing yourself to be in that sense of newness, that sense of the beginner's mind, curious and eager to learn more, that you will be able to take all of this new energy and information in. Your world is not alone. Of course, there are those like us on spiritual realms that reach out to you. There are guardian angels. There are the ancestral spirits of your earth plane. And there are the spirits of nature always with you. Yet there are also interdimensional and extraterrestrial allies that your world has partnered with. One of these allies you call the Greys. The Greys do not seem as allies to many of you because the Greys had a very different vibration. Greys are actually mutated humans from another timeline. They went to another planet after destroying their Earth, and they mutated through the dominance of the logical left brain that was focused only on materiality, and it smothered the energy of the heart to the extent that these beings lost emotion and lost the sense of love. And this caused them to eventually lose the ability to reproduce. And that is what called them to seek out you as humans. To survive, they needed to splice their genome with yours to create new beings. And the new beings they created also came to recognize that while they were a viable species and they could survive, they were still imperfect, and they still could experience a greater expansion. And thus they created another race, and that race created another race, and that race created another race. And thus there became 5 hybrid races. And these beings are very similar to you, for the most part. They are incredibly similar to you when you compare these beings to the other beings that may exist in this galaxy and are not accessible to you just yet. And they are supporting your world in this process of ascension. And they are of the allies that you can reach out to on multidimensional planes. This is an opportunity that is extended to you now. By partnering with these beings, you are going to be able to skip many of the steps that these beings made through the mistakes that they made, yes, that allowed them to learn and grow. By integrating this knowledge and coming to understand the importance of heart, among many other teachings and ideas from these beings, your planet will make a massive evolutionary leap in a very short period of time. That window has already opened since year 2012, and this next decade will usher in something phenomenal. Though there are also other potential timelines, and some of you are shifting between timelines. You are picking up information and vibrations from the different potentials that exist for Earth. Know that you as individuals are writing your own destiny. And as multidimensional beings, you individually choose which dimension of Earth you experience, which parallel Earth plane that you experience. So we want to instill in you that sense of freedom of choice. As when you understand that you are free and that you are making choices, you will come to understand that this is a gift of love from Source itself to allow you to create your own reality.
Wow. That's
So,
wonderful.
yes, this is our opening message for you today. And now we will ask, in which ways can we support you with your questions? On that note, that was a bit of an answer to the initial question that came through about a sort of mushroom cloud. That this image and this information represents a different version of your Earth. And now you are at a crossroads. You are influencing the Earth in your own choices.
Wonderful.
You are all here because you are making the choice to attune to the love-based reality. But this symbol of the mushroom cloud, among many other potentials, represents a different version of Earth that exists and is playing out at the same time. Be aware and know that this information and these signposts come to you so that you can come to understand the importance of the choices you're making and that you can prevent your Earth from splitting off into those timelines.
Okay. Fabulous. Thank you for your answer. So now we have some questions from some other guests. The first guest is Vicky, and she would like to know if she has a starseed origin, and if she does, from which planet do you think she may have come?
Yes, Vicky, you do have a connection with the Arcturian beings, as well as with the Andromedan beings. You have incarnated in both of these realms several times, and these guides are supporting you in your own evolutionary process at this time. This will lead you to coming to learn how to attune to subtle frequencies and create cellular level repair through energy healing practices. The Arcturian guides have a special affinity with you in your learning in this realm, whereas the Andromedan guides are teachers of a sort of sacred process of disruption, that these guides come from a realm that is very different from your earth plane, and a realm that is evolved in a way that they have experienced many sorts of incredible changes over the course of their development. And those of you who come in with the Andromedan connection are here to be movers and shakers, so to speak. You're here to help awaken people to the realities that they are denying. And these guides are encouraging you to have courage to be able to ruffle the feathers if you have to, so that people can see the truth.
Okay. Thank you for your answer for Vicky. The next question is from Sonia Pinola. She would love to have a message from the Pleiadians, if they will work with her or if she is already working with you.
Are you consciously reaching out to us? If you invite us in, we will be there. Understand this, that when you call upon your guides, we are there. But we can't help you unless you invite us in. So if you want to receive this sort of support, you must ask and you must invite. And this isn't something that you do once and expect that we will always show up. It is that energy follows attention. So are you putting attention towards your own higher self every day? Are you putting attention towards your request for multidimensional support every day? And then it follows, are you being receptive? This is just as important. To be receptive means, on one hand, to be open to that energy. And sometimes when you feel the energy of your guides or multidimensional beings, it might feel strong, intense, and big. You might interpret that to be overpowering, but remember, your guides will give you as much as you can handle. And if they are giving it to you, they know that you can handle it. So you need to trust us and let us in. And being receptive also means that you take the time to let us work with you, with your focus. So we communicate with you in subtle ways at first. It is these subtle levels of communication that help prepare your energy body for deeper transmissions and deeper connections. These subtle ways can be expressed and experienced as a sense of a presence within you or around you, a sensation within your body, a visual impression that can be the face of a guide that might appear clear or not, or it might simply appear as different colors and symbolic expressions of energy. You might experience a guide as a voice inside of your head, or you might experience a guide as simply an emotional change, a feeling of love and connection and acceptance. When you sit and meditate and ask for your guides to be there and you experience any one of these things, pay attention to that. Don't compare your experience of psychic connection to other people's experiences. And remember that anyone who developed psychic gifts did that progressively over a period of time. Of course, some people come in more predisposed to having these gifts, but what you are seeing expressed through them in the moment is something that developed over a period of time. Work with the experiences you're having, and remember, always call in your guides, always be receptive to your guides, and we will be able to help you then.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you very much for Sonia. I have a question from Froxine, and she would like to know how many how many times removed are we as humans from being a Pleiadian in a reincarnation? So would it be a lot of different incarnations, or could it even have been the last incarnation that we were Pleiadians?
Well, incarnations are not necessarily sequential. You
Okay.
experience a three-dimensional reality where you go about the experience of time. One event happens after another event, followed by the next event.
Mm-hmm.
Though at multidimensional levels, there isn't necessarily a sequence. It's more like a layering phenomenon. Instead of there being one lifetime followed by the next lifetime, it is that all of the lifetimes happen at the same time, so to speak, because again, it's at a level where there is no time. At the level of your soul, you are beyond time, and it is only the human incarnation and the incarnation into third and fourth dimensional realms that keeps you bound in that linear experience.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes certain incarnations might seem more fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Children who remember their past lives might feel as if they've just come from a specific experience. But that simply reflects that that information is relevant to them in their early development and in their first development of a sense of personality.
Mm.
They might not be prepared for some of the more intense or otherworldly sorts of incarnations right away, but it doesn't mean they didn't have them.
Yeah.
And also, as you go through shifts in your own lifetime and your own interests and your own vibration changes, you start to make different connections in a conscious level with the different incarnations you have. So you might have a very particular affinity for a certain past lifetime for a period of time, and that lifetime takes a step back so that another guide can step in and become closer to you. It doesn't mean that one happened before or after another in the grand scheme of your incarnational trajectory. These lifetimes are all happening from your soul's perspective at once. Even though, from the perspective of time, there are gaps in time, it does not matter if one of the incarnations that you're connecting with comes from 5,000 years ago and one comes from 10,000 years into the future. Both of these connections are available to you and expressed through your own connection in the present moment.
Wow. Wonderful information. Thank you, Pleiadians.
Yes.
Jessica Lynn, she just wants to know if you have a message for her.
All right, one moment. We generally don't do readings of this nature, but we will
Okay.
tune in for a second.
Okay.
We're showing the channel an image of a cactus. And this cactus might represent that you are to go on a trip soon to a place where there are many cactuses. Or this may represent that you are to come to learn to emulate the energy of such a plant. A cactus learns to live in an arid environment without much water, but with much light, much heat. And this movement towards the light represents your soul's inner quest to be immersed in light.
Mm. Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you very much. All right, we have Corey Ray, who wonders how he or she can improve their relationship with their wife.
One moment. On one level, you need to open up and be more expressive about your feelings. You might be hiding feelings even from yourself. So you might not even know about the things that you need to talk about and open up about. Though when you take a deeper look inside of yourself and take time to contemplate, perhaps enjoying nice walks by rivers and ponds, and listening to yourself by connecting with your heartbeat and your breath, you will find out what you need to say and express. Also, you need to learn how to become more attuned to your wife and understand what some people say is her love language. What makes her feel loved? What makes her feel special? When does she feel that you truly care in a deep way? You might open up this conversation, or you might simply pay attention to which acts or gifts inspire her the most and make her feel most connected with you.
Wonderful. There you go, Corey. Thank you so much. We have Mary Thornberry, whose brother is on the other side. And she said, do I have a connection with other beings connected with her brother? Because she wonders why he drew all the spaceships and aliens when growing up. Do you think he remembered?
He was having experiences with these beings in his dreams and in the sky at times that others wouldn't necessarily believe. And his drawings were a way of putting that connection into life. He did have connections with Pleiadian beings and with beings you might know as the Sasani. And these beings also wish to reach out to you if you would be so willing to connect with them.
Okay, that's wonderful. All right, let's see if I have any other ones here. All right. And Corey Ray says, thank you very much. Everybody's been saying thank you that you have read for. So thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. You as well.
So I have actually a question from myself for my community.
All
and
right.
I would like to offer it up for everyone. What should we know about our community here on YouTube and how we can be of more service to each other as interactive members of this beautiful community?
Share your passions with each other. Many of you have gifts and talents, and it would be so wonderful if you allowed yourselves to be open about them. And perhaps you also want to come together to have different circles, like practices of meditation or an inner guided journey. To be able to co-create in this way might be of great use. You can also practice sending out a sort of prayer list or energy healing list that allows all of you to, in your rituals, to stay connected with each other by having a list of all of the individuals that you might want to send some healing energy towards.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the time that you have taken with us here today.
Oh, I thank you as well.
I have a one person, Rose Hogan. She wonders if there's anything I'm asking her to give me a personal question. I don't have that yet. I don't know if there's anything you can tell Rose. She lives in another part of our earth. Finances.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
Consider money to be an energy that is like breath. You breathe in and you exhale. There's always more air around you. But sometimes you don't consider that there's always more money around you. And sometimes, well, really, in order to fully get all of the oxygen from your breath, you need to empty your lungs completely first. So this represents the act of trust in investing in yourself and in your health in ways that will allow you to better nourish yourself so that you can bring in more money with the next breath in. This means to let go of fears, to let go of restraints. And as you do so, allow yourself to breathe in even more. You have gifts, you have many gifts, and you might be able to make more money by considering to use some of these gifts as a way of exchanging with others. You can practice in this way. You can open up more services to share with your world. And this will be a learning process, though it will allow you to find ways of making more money as you like. And remember to prioritize your passion. Remember that your passion is what nourishes you and what fills you with love and energy to be able to be of great service to the world. So we do hope that you can do that and let your services flow as they will reach many people.
Beautiful. Well, Pleiadians, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming through, Dante, for us today. And so I'm going to let you close with a message that you would like to share before we leave today.
All right. Well, we thank you very much for allowing us to reach you and connect in this way, for it does allow for all that is to expand through us and you getting to know each other and coming into a deeper connection with Source. Your world is evolving rapidly, remember, and you are part of that process. Many of you seek to understand what is my purpose, and we want to remind you that Source created this multiverse, including your own universe, simply with the purpose of coming to know itself. Source was endless light, endless love, endless power. And Source is that, yes. Though before there was any materialization or manifestation in any way, Source was all of this love, light, and power, but it did not know itself because there was nothing else to compare itself to. Source needed to experience physical realities in order to know itself. And so, of its own energy, Source created the multiverse and all of the realms that exist within it. And every sentient life and every non-sentient life, which is still a part of the universal consciousness, is Source getting to know itself, coming to experience itself. And there are many realms of incarnation with different purposes. These different realms get to experience differing levels of remembrance of Source. And your human incarnation is a great gift to you because it allows you to be immersed in a world of so many senses, yet simultaneously have the experience of remembering yourself as Source. That is the purpose of your incarnation. That is why all of you are here. So seek no purpose other than that. And if your purpose is to know yourself as Source, know that whatever brings you into the highest vibration of love is your purpose. That is your only purpose, is to experience that and to be that. And that is why we share with you that formula of acting on your highest passion to the best of your ability without insisting on a particular outcome. Because when you do that, you will experience and you will be unconditional love, and you will live as that, and you will inspire other people to do the same. And when more and more people on your planet live as unconditional love, your planet will awaken and be totally immersed in that vibration. And therefore, your whole planet will be fulfilling its own purpose, to be a plane for Source to come to know itself. So whenever you're questioning, why am I here, or what am I doing? Remember that Source simply wanted to know itself through you. And Source's love needs you to live as love in order for that purpose to be fulfilled. So we thank you very, very much, and we wish you a fantastic rest of your day, then.
Thank you very much from all of us. Wow. Just beautiful. Thank you so much. Everyone
You're
is
very welcome.
The words that have come through you and been given to you to share with us have just been so profound, and we can't thank you enough for sharing that with us. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being with us here today. And please go over to Dante's channel, and it's in the information for the show. And I know some of you are watching from Dante's channel. I'm Aley from Heart and Soul Connected, and I want to thank Amanda Carroll for introducing the wonderful Dante. Thank you so much, everybody says. Tears of joy I have never known before. Lots of love.
That's a great thing to hear.
Lots of love. Yes.
Beautiful.
All right, everybody. Take care of yourself. And remember, you're here to love.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. Thank you.
Can Bye-bye. I mention quickly?
Oh, of course. Yes.
Yeah. My website's dantestarshine.com, and there's a book that I've released that contains a really more elaborate explanation on all the Pleiadians' teachings. It's Living Love on Earth, or the guidebook to Living Love on Earth. So how we can take that understanding that they share and apply it to every area of our life. So that book you can find on the website. And there's another book that's coming out soon that's more about finding your own way of love and allowing that to support your own income and your own career in the world, so to speak. So that will be released in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we're always asking about money, so yes.
Oh yeah, everybody's always curious about that. So that book will be out soon, and I teach people how to channel as well as doing personal sessions.
And you do it on Zoom, so people can sign up for your classes, and you do it asynchronously. Yeah.
Totally, and then I think I wait until there's like 4 people in the class, and then we kind of pick a date that works for everybody, and then other people, I advertise it for a bit, and others that can agree with that time and date will hop on. It's 12 sessions over 4 months, and some chatting in between. And then there's a graduates group, so you're connected with the other graduates who sometimes do exchanges and other pop-up classes over time. So.
All this is on your website, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This is very interesting. Froxy says, I received the message that I've been asking of Source for so long. I'm left with the thought that love is indeed the answer. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no. Go back. Okay. I think that's all.
That's all? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Just beautiful. You can come back anytime. I enjoyed it tremendously.
I'd love
and
to. Thank you.
I got goosebumps, honestly. Ooh.
Wow. Ooh, I love that.
Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to the lovely people that came here today and asked the questions and enjoyed the channeling as well.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you later. Thank you.
See you next time. Have a great day.
Okay.
Thanks so much for having me on here.